I'm John Thavis, Catholic News Service Rome Bureau Chief. The international community is addressing the issue of climate change this fall with two major conferences, one at the United Nations and one in Copenhagen. The Vatican will send representatives to these meetings, and it's interested in the issue. I spoke about it with Archbishop Silvano Tomasi, the Vatican's representative to UN agencies in Geneva.
The earth is the home of everyone. And so it's a common responsibility to take care of the environment and to manage the earth well. On the other hand, we become more and more conscious that it's a very complicated issue because the evidence sometimes is contradictory or not totally convincing, but there is enough scientific data, that talk of a warming of the planet and greenhouse gas emissions are becoming damaging to the whole environment.
The Vatican knows there are not easy answers to greenhouse emissions, and it's not proposing any, but it is trying to promote a more cooperative approach between rich and poor countries.
The rich countries have been the ones who have created the problem in the first place. On the other hand, developing and poor countries must cooperate. Otherwise, the effort done in one part of the world is neutralized by the lack of action in another part of the world. So we need some climate justice. We cannot argue that the poor countries have to stop their process of growth, otherwise they will create a bad environment. They have a right to develop, but we have to help these countries to develop in such a way that their development will not become damaging to the earth.
One point the Vatican keeps making at these international conferences is that while respect for creation is a moral imperative, any environmental policy must respect the centrality and the priority of the human person.
Yes, we are all together in this planet. It's a global responsibility to manage it well. But there is a qualitative difference between animal, plants, and people. And we say people are really the ultimate value that exists on this earth. And there is a fundamental importance in respecting human beings and giving priority to human beings.
I asked Archbishop Tomasi whether the Vatican would be pushing the international community to reach a binding agreement on climate change. He said, yes, the Vatican favors this, but it's more concerned about the content of such an agreement.
A fair deal has to be worked out so that the strongest and most competent countries with the best technology, with the best resources, and are going to impose their own will on the poorer and smaller countries, and thus maintaining a strong cleavage, a strong gap between parts of the world.